we're doing it at Coopertown Middle School. And like you said, we're open on July 12th. And then that's a Friday night. And then we'll be there on Saturday night at 7 o'clock. Each performance at 7 o'clock in the evening. And then on Sunday, which will be July the 14th, we'll have a 2 p.m. matinee. And then we come back the next weekend, and we'll be there the 18th, 19th, and 20th. Now, that'll be Thursday, Friday night at 7 p.m. at Coopertown Middle School, and we're thrilled to be here. And you mentioned the Turning of the Pig.
Yes.
We will be there at Turning of the Pig. We're going to be performing 3 songs, Mama Rose and Tyler, and also Faith will be there. She who plays Louise, of course. And so we're going to, we've worked out a deal where we will be performing up there, and we'll also have our Gypsy folks, all the cast members will be there in their Gypsy t-shirts, and you can see the artwork we've got behind us here on the big poster. So we're getting out the word about how good Gypsy's going to be this summer.
I don't know the content of this. I mean, I don't know the premise. Can you kind of unpack that for me? What is this play about? And there's a couple of things. They're here with us for the hour. So if you have any questions, shoot them to us in comments, and I'll share them. But number one, change of venue.
Venue.
Why did that happen? And I need the premise of Gypsy. What is it about?
I'll tell you what. I'll tell about the change of venue. Then I'm going to turn it over to Mama Rose to talk about the story, because her character is, it's all about Mama Rose and her 2 daughters. So anyway,
wants it all to be about it.
But but we'll get into that in a minute. But the reason we're at Coopertown Middle, and in the earliest days, the Robertson County Players, we were literally gypsies ourselves. We started out at Joe Burns. We did our first play back in 1978 when we first got together. The organization did, the Robertson County Players. And then from there, we went up to Greenbrier Elementary. And then from there, we went to Springfield High School. Now, this was back when it was the old Springfield High School.
Before it became Innovation Academy.
Before it became Innovation Academy and before it became the middle school. But most of our plays have been performed either at Springfield Middle School, Innovation Academy, or Springfield High School, the new Springfield High School. So we have often moved around during our 40-some-odd year history. But this year, because they are doing extensive renovation at the Innovation Academy, that's the reason we moved to Coopertown Middle, and they've been wonderful to us. We're real excited about that. It's a nice 350-seat auditorium, got proscenium stage. It's going to be great. We're really excited about being there. So.
Well, and that's kind of what I assumed, is because I knew they were doing a lot of work at the middle school. At the middle school, at Innovation Academy, trying to break the habit of calling it that.
Yes, indeed.
But I had a feeling that was the reason behind that. So, but it's a great place.
Oh, it's a great place.
I was telling you, we were out there. My husband, he teaches at Springfield, but the kids that come up from Coopertown are the kids that are going to be coming into the high school football program. And so he helps assistant coach at the middle school. So he volunteer because they're in dead period. But, if you wanted to come lift weights, he had a bunch of kids out there yesterday. So I was like, he was like, what are all these cars? I said, I bet I know. They were practicing for the play. Okay, Mama Rose, what have we got going? Give me the premise. I do not know this story. I love it just looks fun. Number one, so, but give me the premise of Gypsy for those of us that don't know it.
Sure. Well, it's called a musical fable because it's actually based on a true story.
Okay.
It's based on the memoirs of Gypsy Rose Lee. It's about the quintessential stage mother, the woman who pushes her daughters to be in show business, and it kind of backfires on her a little bit. The kids are happy to do it, but yet not happy to do it. You know what I mean? So they tour around the country trying to get on different vaudeville circuits, and this is when vaudeville is getting ready to die out to burlesque, pretty much. And so that's it in a nutshell.
Okay. And and that's something that what is the time period then? The
1920s to
that's 1930s,
what
like the 20s. So we'd have the Roaring Twenties kind of represented in there. I'm thinking. Yeah, because that's the big vaudeville time period. So
and
I love it.
One thing about Gypsy, it was written, and in fact, it's been referred to by music critics as being the quintessential Broadway style show. I mean, a lot of big actresses, not big actresses, but famous actresses have performed that role. It started out with Ethel Merman.
Oh, really?
More or less created the role for her.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Jewel Stein, who was the author, and Peter, what's the music?
Sondheim.
Yeah, Stephen Sondheim wrote the lyrics, and so
Okay.
it's really a good show. We're excited about it. It's got choreography. Tyler plays Tulsa, who's going to do a dance number for us.
Oh.
So why don't you tell them about that, Tyler?
Well, I will say Tulsa has a huge dance role, and it's very new for me because I've never really gotten to work with a lot of dancing in my career as an actor. But I'm very, very happy I'm doing it because this is preparing me for the future. I want to head to Broadway eventually and try my luck there, and dancing is definitely needed. But Tulsa, he's a very interesting character because he's kind of like the star besides June, who is the named star. But there's three boys in their little group, and he's kind of seen as the top. He loves to dance, he loves to sing. It's his whole thing. But
Kind of like you.
kind of like me, right? But he doesn't like how Mama Rose is taking the group, right? And so
He knows better, I guess.
yes,
right?
he does know better.
Okay.
There's the conflict.
There is definitely a
Okay.
conflict. I won't spoil it, but it's interesting to see how that plays out with everybody in the traveling group. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun playing him. I love his song, "All I Need Is the Girl." It's an amazing song. The dance is great. I'm very excited to be able to perform this in front of people and to share to the world what I've worked on so far.
So I got to tell you, Tyler Monroe, he is one of our, well, I don't know, you're not a rising senior anymore. You're a senior now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You're a senior. So I'm going to brag on you too. You and Stacy were our ACT All-Stars. He's not only talented in all the things he does, he's super, super smart.
I appreciate that.
And that's impressive. When you can do the things you do extracurricularly and also maintain your academic position, that's impressive. So yes, you're one of those young men. It was so funny because I saw him, I don't know what it was. I saw him perform. I guess it was like was when y'all did the impromptu thing.
Yes, improv night.
Yeah,
yes.
improv night. And so we did a thing for Ides of March. And so I wanted Dr. Wilson to bring some of you guys down, and he was excellent as Caesar.
So fun.
We're gonna do that bigger.
We have
next
to.
year.
We
We're gonna
have
do
to.
that because that was kind of like I was just trying to find something different to do with my AV students,
Right.
and so. And I'm fascinated with history and the whole Greek Roman kind of thing. So I was like, oh, we need to do Ides of March, and so we're gonna really do that up.
And
So
I think we should do more than just the Ides of March too, because
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. I had so
Yeah.
much fun doing that. I know
yeah,
it's
we're
very
gonna do some more stuff.
yeah. I'd like that a lot.
He's a natural, and you
Thank
do
you.
sing beautifully. I mean, you've got an
you.
amazing voice, just a wonderful stage presence. So, so yeah, I'm gonna brag on him because he's one of our Bobcats, man. Come
Go
on,
Bobcats.
So is this your first time with Robertson County Players?
Oh yes, and I am extremely upset that I've never tried to do anything with them before. I've heard about them all the time,
Yeah.
and I've always thought I really need to try out for one of their things, and I just never did it. And then I finally I was like, okay, I got to do it. I have to go, and so I auditioned. At first, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this because of scheduling conflicts, right,
Yeah,
with
yeah,
band
yeah.
and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But I've worked around it, and this has been probably one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life.
I'm excited.
I'm so glad to be here with Robertson County Players.
He's also very good at putting up signs.
Yes.
Tyler and I went out weekend before last with these big 4 foot by 4 foot signs all over Robertson County. You
Yeah.
may have seen the gypsy signs that we've got here in Springfield. And we've got one in White House and Ashland City, in Coopertown. And anyway, we're excited about that. We're promoting it that way. And I just asked Tyler, I said, I need a good, strong back to put up these signs.
And I said, I'm your man.
And he said he was my man. And so we did. And that's what we did. We went around one Friday and spent a good part of the day doing that.
And it was fun.
I had seen the signs and I was excited to see it. I was like, okay, they're at the middle school, but then I knew it had to be because of the conversations I've had with Dr. Weeks that we had some renovations going on there. But I think it'll be wonderful.
Let's talk about the production staff too, because we've got a really good production staff on this show. We have to start off with Riley Bowers. Riley's first longtime RCP member.
I do.
You know Riley.
I'm actually a distant cousin of Riley.
I did not know that.
His mother and I played basketball together. We're both from Mayfield.
Oh,
okay. Right.
Well,
yes. His mother is. So we're gonna go down a rabbit hole.
Oh,
here.
wow.
Amy is from
Riley would have
Mayfield.
been with us, but he had to work today.
Yeah. Her mother's maiden name is Youngblood, and we are connected as cousins through that. We are distant cousins.
Well, there we go. Well, then you know how talented Riley is, which
incredible.
he is. Not only is he a tremendous.
Mama Rose is trying to get in.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that my mom is from Mayfield, Kentucky as well.
You're kidding.
So maybe we're all related.
Wow.
I did not know that.
How funny. Okay, we went down,
Where are all these
rabbit
Mayfield
holes.
people here? Okay.
Back on track. Riley, we love you.
I've got to keep.
Riley is very awesome.
He's a good
great
guy.
director.
Very talented.
And anyway, Riley's directing. We also have Lewis Walling. Lewis Walling is our music director on this, and Lewis and I've worked together and has done a lot of RCP stuff over the years, mostly musicals. And Lewis is in charge of the orchestra and all the music that's going into the show, and we're excited about having him with us. And then we've got a tremendous production team made up of veterans: Rusty Riddle, Mayla Bruce. You know, they longtime veterans. Rusty's handling the technical side of things, sound and light. Thomas Perko's helping him with sound.
No wonder he's busy. Our digital sign's gone out at Greenbrier of all times when we have the turning of the pig and we need to have our digital sign working. And it's gone out. And I was calling Thomas, and he's busy.
He's a jack of all trades, Thomas Perko.
Yeah.
But other people on our staff, Paige Owens and Jess Hansen, who are outstanding stage directors. Which this show, you need two stage directors, and they are doing a great job for us out there doing that. Then we've got Denise Renee Evans. She's a costume designer, and she's come up with all these fabulous costumes that she's managed to get from other theater organizations around Middle Tennessee, and she also works for Nashville Rep. We also have a great set. Logan Hansen and Riley got together and designed a set that turns. It's got 3 different scenes on it.
Oh man!
It's a carousel type, and it's just fantastic.
That is cool.
We're excited about that. That'll be on the stage. And let's see. Then we mentioned choreography. Nicole, Hope, and Summer from the Shalom Dance Movement Studio. They're the ones that helped us with the choreography. And I think that's got pretty much everybody that we wanted to mention. But we got a really great team, and we're excited about everybody coming out to see us when we open up on Friday, July the 12th.
I love it. I love talking to the cast of anything going on at Robertson County Players. I haven't had y'all in a while, and I'm like, what's going on with the Players? I mean, y'all have just been so busy.
Well, we haven't, for this show, of course, we're trying to drum up publicity, and we're going to be at the Turning of the Pig. We're also going to be making some appearances at Kiwanis and Rotary Club. We're also going to be at the Retired Teachers Association. So we're getting out and want people to know, because this is great. This is Broadway style entertainment that people can't see unless you go to Nashville, to TPAC, or to Broadway itself. And the Players have been doing Broadway style musicals since 1980.
Wow, I know, they're just
with
incredible.
Oklahoma, and we've just gone through a huge roster of great shows, and this one's going to be right up there with it. I guarantee you.
It's so funny. Tyler mentioned how he's like, oh, I've always wanted to be, I've always thought about it. Because we did everything out of county. I mean, I was, I'm part of the Madison Church of Christ. My kids went to Good Pasture. I always worked in Nashville. So I was one of those commuter people, and I never really plugged in my community. And I've got 2 kids that would have loved to have been in. Two of mine are athletes or, football. And the other 2 are very much into the arts and would have loved, and they have these amazing voices, would have loved to have been in this. And I've talked to them about this. It's like, yes, mother, that's just something else you just messed up. You didn't get us involved in Robertson County Players. Because it's an amazing group. And I do. Those 2, they're like, mother. And of course, they've moved off now, but, anyway. So I get it. Now, did Danny kind of recruit you after? Because I know you were there for the Guys and Dolls.
Guys and Dolls.
Yeah.
He played Sky Masterson. I
Yeah.
won't say we recruited him, but I certainly got it.
Several people recruited him.
He got my attention.
Okay, because you really, because I recruited him to help me with AV because I'm like, oh man, dude, come on, we got to get you on camera.
Well, I will say that I really thought about it seriously after Guys and Dolls for sure.
Okay.
I remember, I think either opening night or second night. It was probably the second night, the Friday night show. Dalton Wolf and a couple of other people came up to me. Dalton Wolf's in the show, and he said, "You need to try out for Robertson County Players play. Like you have to." And that kind of stuck in my head. Like, oh, I am wanted somewhere. Like I should try it. Like I should actually. I have a car now. I can get from point A to point B. I can drive. Right. I don't have to rely on anybody else to get me places. Let me try it out. And I had so much fun. I mean, the rehearsal process was, or not rehearsal, sorry, the audition process was so fun. And I don't know. And I remember meeting Danny, and, me and Danny had a conversation about like what I wanted to do and everything. This is just a really great group of people. And I would not have wanted to spend my summer any place else, with any other group of people. This is where I belong. I love theater.
That's exciting.
It's very exciting, and I'm excited for my future with them because this is not going to be my only play I do. Trust me. I will be back for many.
Where are you planning on going to school?
AMDA actually.
Where's that?
AMDA is in New York. Me and Bridget were actually talking about it the other day at Kroger. I was at my job at Kroger. And I have been getting emails from AMDA and everything like that, but I never really paid them much mind. But I was starting to look into it, and they are a really good art school.
Really?
Tell them what AMDA is.
So it's an acting, musical, all kinds of Broadway style things. I can't remember exactly what AMDA stands for. I think it's the American Musical something association. I can't remember.
Mr. Google here. We'll just Google it,
But it seems like a really great school for what I want to do because I do want to be an actor. I want to surround myself in this.
The American Musical and Dramatic Academy of New York.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Yes. And of course, I'm going to put. I'm going to turn in an audition for Juilliard. I will be doing that just to see.
Just
to
for
see.
Grins and giggles. Let's just
Right.
did it.
Just to say I did it. Exactly.
Kind of like the engineers go, well, I'll apply to MIT.
Right.
Sure.
Exactly. Why not? I'll do that.
Yeah.
But I really would like to go to AMDA. I like what they stand for. And that can actually, that'll help, cultivate my skills as an actor. And that's really what I care about is just becoming a better actor. I want to be the best that I can be. And I think AMDA could really do that for me. And plus, that's in New York, right? That's where, that's a hot spot for theater and everything. Yeah. So I will be in the city of theater, Oh,
yeah.
So I'm very excited about my future. I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
Just go with God, man. Just like, what you got for me? It's so funny because, and the reason I asked that is because you say you're going to continue with Robertson County Players. Well, if you're going to be taking off to New York.
It's true. It's true.
Daddy's going, gotta come home, bro.
I'll be
gotta
coming
come home.
It's interesting. We've had several people that have gone on from the Robertson County Players to New York and on to Broadway and to do bigger and better things. So Two people come to mind: Stan Stanley,
And
who's
Stanley,
now
the famous
back.
Stan Stanley.
Stan Stanley, of course, is now at the Innovation Academy. He's the drama teacher down there. Another alumnus of the Robertson County Players is Jeremy Benton, and Jeremy is, good gosh, he's like the Fred Astaire of the 21st century. He's done so many Broadway shows.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
wonderful.
We've had others that have gone on to do bigger and better things after they gotten away from the Robertson County Players. So and the cool thing about it too is we take a lot of young people, and Bridget, you've done this. You've done the theater camp for us. Yeah, why don't you talk about that a little bit and how much?
Sure, let me pause for just a second. We're visiting with Robertson County Players. We got Bridget Dean. She is Mama Rose. Tyler Monroe. What's your character's name again?
Tulsa.
Tulsa. Danny Ashley. You are acting as the producer.
Right.
And it's going to be a wonderful production. I love the sound of it. I love the premise because I didn't really know it. And I didn't know it at all. I just it's one of those things. I love theater, but I've not been exposed to it in a great way.
Well, I'll say this too, real briefly,
yeah.
in that this is Gypsy's not one that's been performed very many times by community theaters. And that's one of the things that drew Riley and me both to wanting to do this show was because not very many community theaters do Gypsy.
Okay.
Whatever reason. There's a lot of moving parts, and it is a hard show. That's no doubt about it. It's got some really tough music in it, but it's going to be great, and we're excited about it. And that's why we're wanting to do it. It's because it is a hard show.
Well, and Robertson County Players is that kind of theater group that can do the big shows. And I mean, because there's just so much talent.
I agree.
mean, so much talent and so much ability. If you've not participated in the plays of Robertson, you just don't know what you're missing. My daughter-in-law's family, they love going to plays. The girls get together and go to plays. So I've got to talk to them about this and see if I can get them to come out because I think they would love it.
You definitely should.
Yeah.
I'm glad
yeah.
you mentioned that because I've got
Aw.
2 complimentary tickets
Thank
right here
you.
for you
Thank
and
you.
Mark.
Well, thank
There
you
you
so
go.
much. But like I said, if I bring the whole group, we'll come get. Can I get a group discount if I bring like 10 people?
Yes, absolutely.
If I get, because I mean, there's
Discount
about
$10 or $12 each if you bring a 10 or more.
okay, 10 or more. They're $12 each.
Yeah, which normally would be 17 or
Okay.
20 at the door.
Okay. Well, because I mean, they have a big group, so if they come, they're gonna need a bunch
Tell
of
you what you
tickets
do.
because they.
You know how
they
to
love
get a
it.
hold of me. You
Yep.
get in touch with me.
Okay.
I'll make sure it happens.
Okay, sounds good. And this is going to be a wonderful time. We'll go through the dates and times and all the particulars as we continue on, but I do need to pause. We do have wonderful sponsors that we want to talk about, and one of my favorites, one of my full-time sponsors, one of my original sponsors, Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. Got to see them for a minute last week. They were at the Cross Plains Trash and Treasures, had a booth. Anytime they have, they'll probably have a booth at Turning of the Pig. They're out everywhere. You'll find them all over the place doing all kinds of community events and then getting involved in the community. They're cool because they're two that came out of other careers. Rebecca, she's been at this a long time, but she was in radiology of all things and got interested in real estate and said, hey, I might want to try that. Next thing you know, she's full time. She's now one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist, which means if you've got older folks and it's time to downsize and you don't really know how to even approach it, she's an expert at that and one of the first in the area to do that. Barry came out of a marketing background. Excellent, expert marketer. He was a vice president of a media marketing company for 17 years up in Nashville, 17 plus years. Then went full time with his wife, just kept saying, come on, you got to do this. And now he's the broker here for Exit in the downtown. Well, he's got an office in the downtown square here in Springfield. So they've combined his office, her agency office, and they have brought you a new branch in the Exit tree called Exit Prime Realty. For years, they were part of the Garden Gate team. It's still all the same team, but again, just a new branch in the Exit tree. If you want experts in the field, if you want somebody that really knows Robertson County, they've been here 30 plus, almost 30 years. They also know Kentucky because they both grew up in Kentucky. They also are great with the surrounding counties because they've had such a diverse background. They are your couple. They can answer any question, point you in the right direction. Meet with them if you have any real estate questions. 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425, the number to call and ask your questions. When's the best time to buy real estate? Anytime. Doesn't matter about interest rates because they're not making no more of it, y'all. So get in touch with them today if you're interested in anything real estate driven, and be sure and always tell them that they turn sent you. All right, guys. Robertson County Players in the house. Always one of my favorite shows to do because I love this stuff. If I could put myself into like 3 people, there would be a part of me that would be involved and do this. And Danny's one of these days, he's going, you're going to do this, Lavern.
I don't
You're
doubt
gonna
it a
try."
bit.
I love music. I love the theater. I love all of those things. It's just never really worked for me. But one of these days, I'll be
We've had
70 years old trying out for my first play.
Hey, we've had people do that.
Yeah,
we really have.
Yeah. One of these days I'm going to do it. So what else where do we need to go from here? If you're just joining us, let's just start here. Let's kind of reset. Let's again give the pitch. We want you to come out. What are the show times? Just unpack that for us, Dan. If you don't mind.
Well, we open up on Friday, July the 12th, which is at 7 p.m. And again at Coopertown Middle School out in Coopertown area. That's 3820 Highway 49 West. Then we'll be back again the next night. That'll be Saturday, July the 13th. Both of those shows will be at 7 p.m. And then on the 14th, which is Sunday, we'll have a 2 p.m. matinee. And then we'll take a break, and then we'll come back the next weekend. That'll be Thursday at 7 p.m. That's the 18th. And then Friday, the 19th at 7 p.m. And then Saturday night will be our closing. That's July the 20th at 7 p.m. Now, tickets are students and teachers and military can get in for $10 each.
There you go.
Students, teachers, and military can get in for $10 each. I'll say that again. Adults at the door are $20, but you also can get advance tickets online, or you can go to White's Jewelers, or you can go to Historic Perk and purchase tickets in advance at that $17 ticket price. And if you do have a group of 10 or more, we'll be glad to set up a different price for you as well.
Okay, because that's and again, this is something I think it's just the neatest thing that my daughter-in-law. If you're trying to look for something to kind of unite, your family, do this kind of. This is a great outing.
And it's family oriented.
Yes.
That's what we've
it's so
done.
much fun.
And even though Gypsy does have a little bit of a premise, why don't you talk about that,
Bridget, Mama Rose,
Mama Rose.
come on.
Yeah.
What are we going to? It's going to give us kind of a little more of the synopsis and what the story's
Well,
about.
there are some themes that maybe you might not want your younger children to learn about, but we do have younger children in the play. But Gypsy Rose Lee becomes a burlesque dancer,
Right.
a stripper.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't do that in the show. We don't show that in the show, obviously.
Yeah.
But there are those themes of the mother grasping at straws to get her daughters to be a star, pushing her into burlesque at the end.
Okay.
Because vaudeville's dead.
And this is part of our history, guys.
Oh, yeah.
This is huge. This is a huge part of history. It's fascinating.
Well,
And go ahead.
I was just going to say, but again, it's family oriented, but that is part of the story. Gypsy Rose Lee was a actual person. She went on to bigger and better things, became a huge personality back. I can remember when I was growing up. You'd see her on television and different things. So she made movies. She became quite the star. But again, Patti LuPone, Ethel Merman, Bernadette Peters have all played this role of Mama Rose. And I'll have to say, Bridget's version of Mama Rose is really compelling. I'm talking about from acting wise as well as her beautiful voice.
I'm excited to see you in this role. I really am. I think it's going to be fabulous. When we were talking about it, I was like, oh, she's going to be so good in that.
I was going to say
You're super talented. We're bragging on this young man here because I know him from school. But yeah, Bridget, she's bringing it now.
Bridget
she is so good.
Fantastic.
Yes.
I mean, she is amazing. She captivates me every time she's on the stage and I'm watching her. It's really amazing to watch her do her thing.
Yeah, so very good. We're very excited. I think this will be excellent. I'm excited to see you in this role.
Okay.
I think it'll be really good.
Well.
So very cool. I love it. But now we have, if you want to get tickets again, reach out to Robertson County Players. You've got the different outlets where you can go and get them in person.
Go to our Facebook page too, and also RobertsonCountyPlayers.org.
Okay.
That's our website. And so we've got all kinds of information about the show on there.
And
well.
I love that you're going to be at, now Tyler is in the band. That's one thing. You're in the marching band too.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you play?
So I'm a percussionist. So right now I play quads, if you know what that is.
Yeah,
tenor
yeah.
drums. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's tough to balance every now and then.
Yeah.
But
Because you got a lot going on. It's so funny. I reached out to Mr. Martin. I said, hey, you want to come on the show and promote Turning of the Pig? He goes, no. I don't have time. But he didn't say it like that. He goes, I can't do anything else until after the 4th. And I'm like, I feel you, brother. I said, we'll talk it up. So, but it's so funny because he kind of busy.
Yeah,
Kind of busy.
It's a big deal in Greenbrier.
Yes,
the
it
turning
is.
of the pig.
The turning of the pig, for the record, is over 100 years old.
Yep.
And it has evolved over the years. And I don't know how long ago that the band said, hey, we're going to help with it if you'll let us be a fundraiser. It was given to them, or somehow or
about
another.
30 years.
It's been a while that it is the
long as I can
fundraiser
remember.
for our band at Greenbrier. And if you know anything about extra, just like I have to fundraise for my audio video program, and that's something I'm trying to figure out. I wish I had a turning of the pig I could throw, So it's like, but the band is so expensive, and it is just it's a great thing to be able to bring money in for our band program. Absolutely wonderful band too. You guys are going to be marching on the 4th, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're going to be out there helping with the turning of the pig. Turning of the pig, who wants to explain what the turning of the pig is? For those locals who are new to town, they're like, what are they talking about? They're turning the pig. What is that?
It's a big barbecue.
There you
exactly
go.
what it is. They grill hundreds of pounds of pork, and truth of the matter is, it's the best barbecue you will be able to find anywhere on the 4th of July.
It's delicious.
It is.
So good.
If you like old style pork barbecue, that is the place to go, and that's how they make money. That's how they raise money, is by selling barbecue by the pound, and I'm going to get me at least 2 pounds of it while I'm there.
Yep. And I'll tell you, I grew up on a hog farm.
There
Okay.
you go.
I'm an expert on barbecue.
Yeah, Mayfield. They
Very
know how to cook barbecue in Mayfield.
I don't know if you know Starnes Barbecue from West Kentucky. I went to school with
do.
it. Yeah, Starnes, the girl, one of the daughters, is
Yeah.
a friend of mine. I mean, we have, she and I went to high school together.
Okay. Yes.
If you know the big RV park, Riley's RV, her husband owns this big RV park going into.
All right.
They own that now, but yeah, Starnes Barbecue. Paula
I've got
Starnes
some of
was a friend of mine.
some of their barbecue sauce in my refrigerator.
Yeah.
Stars
Yeah,
barbecue. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's good stuff.
It's like I said, if I can tell you that the barbecue coming out of the turn of the pig is good, then you know it is, because I don't lie about barbecue. I take it very seriously.
We all take it very.
Yeah. So, but it'll be a good time. And so you say you're going to perform some songs. What songs are y'all going to perform? Would you, would you want to do a song for us in here? No, you don't. I'm not. No.
It's too early.
It's too early. I just kind of put that option out there if you want to.
And plus, we can't spoil tomorrow.
Well, they're okay. Listen to you,
Yeah.
Tyler. I was like, I ain't singing this
go.
Vivio.
There you go.
I ain't doing it.
Great save there, Tyler. Yeah.
It's like you got to come to Turning of the Pig if you want to see. So, what numbers will you be performing? Then back to that question: what will you be performing?
Well, Mama Rose has a song that she's going to be performing, and then of course Tyler's got the song that you're doing.
All I need is the girl.
Right. That one.
And then Louise is performing a song, so that's 3 of the main leads in the show that do perform songs. So all that'll be performed tomorrow at Turning of the Pig, and we'll be performing around 6:15
PM.
p.m. That's
Okay.
correct. Yeah. And
Because that's the thing. Turning of the Pig is not an all-day event. It starts at 4.
Yeah.
Goes to about 4 to 9,
Yeah.
is my understanding. So the barbecue, they're putting it on probably tonight, tomorrow
guess.
morning, tonight. I think tonight.
I have to go in at 10 p.m. tonight and stay till 2 a.m.
Yeah, they're putting the meat on tonight.
Yeah.
And,
And then I got to
yeah.
be there in the morning tomorrow too.
Yeah.
I've got a long couple of days ahead of me.
Yes. And I reached out to the Duprees. They're friends of mine. And I had to reach out to April and say, okay, give me the particulars, because I knew the kids were involved because they're in band. And that's the fun thing about this. If you've never been involved in community events where you have people come together and volunteer and work together, you just don't know what you're missing. There's a camaraderie. It really, truly is. You are making, you kids, you students, I try not to call y'all kids because, you're young adults, for heaven's sakes. And you are having just such wonderful memories you will never forget by being a part of that.
I've compared to being in a play or a musical as being on a championship ball team.
I agree.
That's where you get that kind of camaraderie with people that you will remember the rest of your life. You make those kind of friendships and relationships that just go on and on and on. And there's nothing quite like it, to be honest with you. And
I love it.
So
When were you in your first production?
Oh, that's
Because I mean, because that's so I'm always curious to see people's path. And I want to ask you the same question, Bridget. But when did you get bit by the bug that
So-
you knew this is something that you wanted to do? Because academics is very important to you, and music's very important to you. And when did you know you could sing?
I'll tell you, it
Try
was
that.
completely on accident.
Okay.
So I, in 6th grade, first starting out middle school, right? I was put in a band, and when they told me I had to pay for my instrument, my mom was like, "Nope, you're not doing that." So I got
you.
booted
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
band, and I got put into choir.
Okay.
And my mom has always been a singer, right? She's got a gorgeous voice on her. She never, went out and really tried to do anything with it. But, she's been in a few songs and everything. Love my mom's voice. But I'd never really tried to sing before. And so I just started singing in choir, and I was like, whoa, I love this. Like, I like this. This is awesome. And in 6th grade, they put on a musical called Schoolhouse Rock.
Oh, yeah. That's
And
fun.
it was fun. I was a few characters like George the Bill, everything like that. So I got to sing the "I'm Just a Bill," that song, everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a fun musical, and
Yeah.
I did that, and I was like, I want to do this. Like, I
Yeah.
want to do this for the rest of my life.
My
And
jam.
yeah, exactly. And it wasn't. I didn't go back to band until my sophomore year. And I'm really glad I did because I have a much better understanding of music and everything like that. But I'm a singer and I am an actor at heart always. That's what I want to do. And it's just so funny how those things come to be. An accident in 6th grade has put me on the path I want to follow for the rest of my life. It's so silly.
I love it. And it's so funny how that bug can get you. And you
Yes.
just stay on that. And so Bridget, how about you? When did you figure out that you could sing?
Probably not till I was 14, but I've been on the
Okay.
stage since I was 5.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay. How did that happen? Did you have parents that were just in the theater? And
No, my parents don't sing or act or any of that stuff. They just we had really good drama programs at the schools I went to.
okay.
So just starting with school things.
Okay. And you're kind of like, the reason why I'm asking is because I've always loved this. I love the arts, and I want to make sure that I don't. I wish I had given my kids more opportunity. Well, now I have 4 grandkids, and so I'm always trying to see: can you sing? What kind of pitch do you have? Or what you got going? And I've got one of my granddaughter, my only granddaughter. She's got a voice on her, and she's only 4. And I mean, I'm like, oh, I think we got we got a voice here. And I don't know the boys as well. My grandson's actually sleeping in the bed. I tried to get him up to come in this morning with me, but he's here at the house with us this weekend this week. And I don't know. It's one of those things. I don't know if he can sing or not. He's never really tried.
My 2 grandsons, I recruited them for the show.
Oh,
They're in the
fun.
ensemble. Yeah, Nathan, who's 8, and Luke, who is 6. And anyway, Nathan, he was kind of reluctant. He didn't think he really wanted to do this.
Yeah.
In fact, this is what he said to me after I brought him to one of the rehearsals. And he says, "I don't know, Grandpa. I don't think I really want to do this." And I said, "Now, wait a minute, Nathan. Now, why don't you? I mean, you're going to have fun. This will be an opportunity for you to get out, meet new people, make a lot of new friends, and have fun all at the same time." He says, "Well, Grandpa, if I do this, that means I won't be able to get a summer job." And I said, "Nathan, you're 8 years old. You're not going to get a summer job. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
That's great.
I'm going to pay you and Luke $50 apiece if you do everything that we ask you to do to be in this show." And so they agreed. And so they're
love
both in it, and they play newsboys, and they're in several scenes, and they get to sing and do a little dance, and they're having fun. But now every time I pick up Luke, he's saying, "Now, Grandpa, when do we get that $50?
I love
When
it.
did we get our $50?
That's
back?
what
I was just about to
That
ask.
is so funny. Bridget and
Y'all
Tyler
are
are
not
going,
related to me. So
Where's our $50
where's our
at?
money? Because that's the thing, guys. Robertson County Players is volunteers. These
strictly
people
volunteer.
just
Nobody gets paid.
Nobody gets paid.
other than Nathan and
Nobody
Luke.
gets paid unless your granddaddy is the
That's a
producer.
special deal.
That is hysterical. Well, but you know what? It's an incentive to get them to just try something different.
Yes. Oh, that's
Yes, to broaden their perception of different things.
And they're having a ball, and they
Yes.
may even forget the $50. I doubt it. But
Yeah, I don't think
You know that's not going to happen.
No, they're not.
If they do, you can give it to us.
There you go.
Exactly.
Hey, if they want to donate their $50 to you too, I will let them do it.
That's right. Y'all are so funny. I love
boy.
it. So what do I got to do to get a T-shirt? I need a T-shirt. Man, those are cool
We
t-shirts.
have-
Are y'all going to sell T-shirts?
No, we've sold
Oh,
out. Well,
oh,
the bad
man.
thing about and with this,
They're cool.
And show the artwork on that. Tyler.
That is really
Yeah,
beautiful.
that
Who
is
did the
really
artwork?
We get Terry Morris of Molly B Creative,
Yeah,
who is
she's
our
so good.
I can't say enough about
So
her.
good.
She also designed the posters,
Beautiful.
the signs, and everything else, and artwork. And anyway, just did a great job. If I can get an extra one, I may see if I can get you one.
Yeah, I'm just
okay?
teasing
Well,
you.
I know you
If
are.
you have
but,
one, I'll
but we really ordered just enough
got
for the
one.
cast because oftentimes we'll order more than we need, and then we end up with inventory. And
Yeah, you
Bridget
don't
Bridget
want that,
knows we're trying to watch costs because Bridget also is the president of the Robeson County Players.
Okay. I don't
that?
think I had realized that. When did you take on the role of the president? Go ahead and pull that microphone over
This
to you.
last year.
Okay. I was going to say, I thought that's pretty new thing. And maybe you've told me that and it just slipped my mind.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think I have.
But, I have a question, and I do have one more break I have to do. We got about 15 minutes. Classed as a musical fable. Okay. The Guys and Dolls had the same kind of subtitle on it.
Mm-hmm.
And what gives it that? Why? What do you call what designates a musical fable in the theater? Because I don't.
I assume
Is that
because
something you might
because it's based on a true story, but it's the author's version of
Okay, so
what
it's a-
happened.
The interesting thing is that Guys and Dolls isn't based on a true story. What it's based on is it's a series of short stories by
Right.
Damon Runyon.
Yes, exactly.
And-
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And that somebody just kind of brought them all together and made a story with the characters he created. Like,
Okay.
for
Yeah.
example, Sarah Brown and Sky Masterson, which are two of the leads in that. There's four leads, and Sky and Sarah is one of the leading.
We're talking
couples.
about Guys and Dolls
This is
now,
Guys
and
and
that's the
Dolls,
reason because that musical fable line was in that as well, and that's why I'm asking the question.
And that's interesting because I've never thought about that, but it's
I
really
didn't either.
it's just a bunch of short stories that somebody
Okay.
piled together into a musical. I'm not entirely sure why it's given that subtitle then,
Yeah.
because this is based off a true story, but Guys and Dolls necessarily isn't.
Okay.
So that's an interesting question.
I can't answer.
Well, I'm the host. That's the kind of thing we do. We give you those questions. It's like,
Yeah,
keep
keep those-
ponder.
I don't believe a musical.
Turn that mic to you, sweetheart.
I don't believe musical fable is like a designation
Okay.
for like a genre of musicals. It's just a title. That's
Yeah.
It's just a fun thing
Yeah.
to put on
Yeah.
the title. I like it. Okay, that's cool.
It's a little fancy title.
There you go. I like it. I
I mean,
like it. It makes
other
me
than
go,
just say
"Ooh."
gypsy, which
Yeah.
you got to.
See, a musical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think just the connection people know Gypsy Rose Lee, you know, is
Well, older
real
people
character.
do. Now,
Yeah.
the younger people,
That's
not so much.
true.
But
That's
but
right.
anyway, but it's a fun show, and we got some really fun people in it, and
Yeah.
and got a great cast. I mean, excellent. I think one of the best we've ever assembled.
that's
Seriously.
cool. Oh yeah.
And can't say enough about Lewis Walling and his orchestra that's going to be performing.
Mm-hmm.
They will be on stage performing. They're actually part of the action. So
I see that. Okay, I get that. I'm excited about this set too.
Yeah.
I think the host set, the staging, all of it,
It's
just
one
in
of the
my
most-
mind as you're kind of unpacking it. And then you said the orchestra's going to be on. I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah.
going to look
yeah,
so cool.
all on that stage.
gonna look
And
great.
you know, it's not a
Yeah.
great big stage. I mean, it's
Yeah.
big enough for us to do everything we want to do, but it's
Yeah.
it's a little bit tight. But
Okay.
but we've made
I love the looks.
the,
They're like, oh yeah.
the director Riley Bowers, he came up with this design, and it is, I think, it's really one of the best ones we've ever had.
I'm
especially
excited.
for a musical.
I'm excited.
And we've
I
had so
love
many
it.
great musicals. You know,
Oh, we
talking
have.
about The Music Man. Oh, good
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Big River, Annie Get Your Gun.
Once Upon a Mattress.
Once Upon a Mattress. Yeah, Bridget was in that last summer. And then also Fiddler on the Roof.
Yeah.
There's another good one. And
So
a
many good ones.
Ragtime. We did that a few
What was the
years
one
back.
that Riley had one of the leads in? And it was about his wife had died. What's the
Secret
Secret
Garden.
Secret Garden? Yes, I
Yeah.
couldn't think of that one. Wow.
He
that
also
was
played curly
beautiful.
in Oklahoma a few years
Yeah.
back too,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is
So,
a really big one.
So much talent in this county, guys. This is so much fun. If you're new, this show, everybody's like, okay. People will say, "Oh, I watched your podcast." Well, this is not a podcast, y'all. This is a regular radio station. We just bring you the stuff we do on social media is just extra. You can hear us on 1100 WSGI, so that's a real radio signal, and we just do the social media stuff just to kind of give an extra place for you to see it. But this is something that what we do on this show is to show the FCC, the people who regulate public radio, we're serving the community. And so bringing you what's going on in the theater and the arts is one of the big ways that we do that. And if
we appreciate it very much
it's our
too. Y'all have
pleasure.
always been wonderful about letting us come out here and promote our shows and promote all the different things that we do. Of course, I'm involved with the Historical Society
Yeah.
and Willow Oak, and
Yeah.
always been hugely supportive of everything that we do.
well, we just
Thank
love
you.
it. It's our pleasure. And it's such an important part, such an important piece of what we do here is making sure you know what's going on in the community. And we have so many people. Where I'm going with this, there's so many new people to Robertson County.
Gosh, yeah.
So if you've stumbled across this, if you're listening to us and you're like, what is this? Robertson County Players has been around for how many years?
Since 1978.
And it is amazing. I have been to so many of the productions. I don't miss it unless my schedule if there's something going on, I go unless I just absolutely can't get there because of my schedule, because I'm never disappointed. It's always good. It's always entertaining, and it's just it is one of probably
Well,
the best
let's talk about the upcoming season. And
Sure.
Bridget's got a big hand in the next show that's coming
Okay,
up.
let's pause for a second. Let me do my last break,
Okay.
and then we'll come back, and then we'll give us some time to kind of unpack that. Since I can't get them to sing because they're saving it, because they're singing at Turning of the Pig tomorrow, and so they're saving it, and I'll be sure and mention that too. So, but there you go. So we're gonna let them not sing because it's early. But anyway, let's talk about Veterans Motorplex, guys. Another great one of the best kept secrets here in Robertson County is we've got a speedway that is just second to none. It is awesome. If you want a local speedway, this one's another one that's been around historically for a long time. Talking to Mayor Vogel a couple of weeks ago about his memories of going to Highland Rim Speedway whenever he was a young man, and talking about the legends, the racing legends that have been on that track. It is right there in the heart of Greenbrier. It's at 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier. And if you have never been to the races, oh my goodness, I went several times last year. I've been to the racetrack many times through my radio career doing stuff, radio shtick. But then I wouldn't stay and watch the races. And I didn't know what I was missing. It is cool. It's exciting. And this little racetrack right there, 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier, it's Highland Rim, but it's been renamed Veterans Motorplex. So if you follow them, you need to follow them because we race every Saturday, weather permitting, and sometimes weather will push it off. You need to follow them at Highland Rim Speedway. They kept the original social media presence, but they changed the name Veterans Motorplex because Jerry's all about the veterans and all about family. He has a $40 ticket that will get up to 6 kids and 2 adults in for one $40 ticket price. They got a great concession stand. It is just a wonderful atmosphere. You're going to love it. And a whole lot of the kids that are in the area, several of my kids have been their first summer job has been working at Veterans Motorplex, the old Highland Rim Speedway. Get out there this Saturday. They're going to be racing. They had a great big fundraiser last weekend for Down syndrome. Community involved, wonderful atmosphere. You're going to love it. The old Highland Rim Speedway, Veterans Motorplex. Get out there today. And when you do, always let them know. All right. So, did you have something you wanted to add about Veterans? Y'all were giggling over here. What is going on? Do we want to share? It's kind of like I'm being the school teacher in me's going, okay, so if it's so funny, share it with the class. I'm guessing we can't. It looks like it's one of those things. They're over here giggling. I'm trying to do an ad. And I'm just teasing you. It was just fine. No, I'm used to it. Listen, in my early days of radio, when I first started doing traffic, I was doing a disc jockey shift one time, and the morning show guys, Stephen Wesley, Bridgewater, and Ogden, it was our adult contemporary. They literally shot bottle rockets at me on the studio. I'm not kidding you. That's old school radio. That was before we had HR going, you can't do that. They shot bottle rockets at me in the studio.
Hey, they did some
Nonsense.
They did some funny things out here in the '60s when my dad was there too. I can't tell you about.
Well, because it was just all about the trying to be, trying to be over the top with morning radio back when it was local. But yeah, so yeah, you're fine. You can do anything behind me, and I can talk over you.
You're telling me to bring bottle rockets the next time I
Nope,
come in, right?
nope, not anymore. We don't do that no more. So it's probably a little dangerous. Went buzzing by my head, y'all crazy boys. But anyway, okay. Upcoming season. Bridget Dean is our president of Robertson County Players. What's next for Robertson County Players?
Well, coming up next is A Streetcar Named Desire, which I'm directing.
Oh, fun. I'm familiar with that play.
Yes, indeed.
So that is wonderful. So when is that one slated to?
We'll be performing the last 2 weekends in September.
Oh,
so
man, that's coming up quick, y'all.
yeah, so we'll have auditions the week after Gypsy closes.
Okay.
So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you do anything other than just theater now? Or you?
Oh yes, I have a full-time job.
That's what I thought you did. I'm like, what else?
I've got several full-time jobs.
God bless you, man. That's a lot.
I work for the state full-time. I'm the women's minister at my church. I do lots of stuff.
Are you at Springfield Baptist?
I am. You had my pastor yesterday, didn't you?
Well, because I didn't realize that connection, but Dr. Evans was saying that's some of my favorite people in there. So I was like, I figured there had to be some kind of connection to it. And while we're on the subject, if you missed having David come on yesterday, we're in a month of prayer and fasting from the governor. It was a proclamation that was a resolution that was passed by the state legislature. And a lot of people don't know what's going on, but it started yesterday. So if you want to know more about it, go and check out the show yesterday or just Google it. But the governor's called for a month-long dedication to prayer and fasting. And it is just, it is a cool thing. It's historic. It leads the nation to just really just give it to God, y'all. And so I just want to kind of remind you of that. But I did not know you were the women's minister over there.
Yeah.
That's cool. Awesome. Very
also
good.
sings in
And
the
choir
choir.
and worship team and
Very
work with
cool.
the children and everything.
That's a great congregation, by the way.
Yeah.
It is a great congregation.
It's great.
So
We
very
love
good.
Pastor David.
Yes, he is awesome. So you've got Streetcar Named Desire. What's after that? Kind of unpack the season for me. What
Sure.
have we got coming up? Because
After
the season runs starting from when to when.
Usually from summer to summer.
So this is the new season.
Right.
So this would be
First
our
show of the season.
This is the first show of the season.
Yeah. Right.
So do you have all the shows set, or are you kind of you're sure
We
you're
have all
doing
the-
these?
We
Okay.
don't know the dates of the last two.
Gotcha.
We know time frames. The one after A Streetcar Named Desire is Driving Miss Daisy.
Oh, fun.
So that'll be fun. And that'll be in maybe November
Okay.
time frame.
Yeah.
And then in the last show of the season is Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
lots of good
okay.
shows this season.
Very
Yes, yes.
varied season for us.
So what do we have as far as musicals versus just
One musical, 3 regular plays.
okay? So is this the only musical then? Really? Okay.
We
Yeah.
generally only do one musical a year.
Musicals, there's
Okay.
so many moving parts and there's so many
gotcha.
different people in it. And usually they're more conducive to doing it in the summertime when the kids are out of school.
Okay.
And it's just it's easier for us to try and do a summer musical
Yeah.
during the summer or doing a musical during the summer. So that's what
Okay.
we've been
Very good.
traditionally doing for years and years and years.
Yeah, and just like you said, there's more moving parts. I mean, to get a musical and to do it well, man, you got to have your act together. That's all there is to
It's
it.
not for kids, let's
No.
put it that way.
No, not at all. Well, we're down here to the wire. We're right here at the end. I'm done with my sponsors, so we got 4 minutes. What are we missing, guys? Anything? Tyler, have you got anything you wanna add? You wanna invite your friends out? Call out. Yeah. Have you talked to all the? So does Dr. Wilson know you're doing this?
Oh yeah, Dr. Wilson. He's been extremely helpful in my exploration with Gypsy. I've been going for private lessons with him every Monday and Tuesday if I can.
You're one
I
of
can make it.
those. Okay.
I
He's
am.
mentioned to me he has some private. Oh, because I'll ask him to do something. He's like, "Well, I got a private lesson." So you're
Yep,
one of them.
I'm one of those.
Yeah.
Me and him have worked diligently over "All I Need Is the Girl," because that song is very voice heavy. I'll just
Okay.
say that it's a little tough at times, but it's fun.
Okay.
So yeah, he knows I'm gonna be there. He's gonna be there. He'll definitely be coming out. But yeah, everybody needs to come out and see this. It is really a great production. This team is amazing. I mean, just like Danny was talking about, the friendships you make and things like this are unparalleled to anywhere else. I mean, and it's just how fast you make these friendships too. Like, you know, exactly. It's like running into a wall. Like, it's just, oh, you're there.
Well, you're depending on your castmates to get you through the production as well, too. I mean, you have
Right.
you have to learn dialogue where you're feeding, talking to each other. It's a lot of fun. It's also a little bit of work. You got to memorize. You got to do different things like that. You got to, there's more to it. But the thing about it is community theater, and anybody can be in a community theater production.
Right.
Yeah, we are open to any and everybody that pretty much comes up for auditions. We don't cast everybody. We can't do it.
Yeah.
But if you are interested in being in a community theater, then the Robeson County Players is the theater you need to be involved in.
I agree.
You can either be on stage or we have a lot of people that don't care anything at all about being on stage, but they want to be involved. They want to help. They want to be a stage manager. They want to be a lighting person. They want to be a sound person. So we are open to any and everybody, male, female, kids, older, you name it, we'll take them.
I love it. I love it. Last minute, let's hand it off to our president of Robeson County Players. Give us the final pitch here.
Give us the dates.
Mama Rose. This
right.
is Bridget Dean. Here we go.
So Gypsy is opening on July 12th. We'll be running on the 13th and 14th, and then the 18th, 19th, and 20th.
Very good.
see
And
us at
you've
Coopertown
got
Middle School.
Sunday matinees, both
Yes.
weekends, correct?
One weekend.
Just
No, one weekend. So
First
if you
week.
want the Sunday matinee, it's this
the
upcoming
14th.
weekend, and so your closing night will be Saturday.
Right.
Correct.
Because you got to have a party.
Well,
Sure.
you got to take the set down.
That's the party.
That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. I love it. It's going to be fun. And we'll put the big invite. I'll make sure that everybody at school knows about it. I wish I had the sign working so we could put it up on there. Maybe we'll get it fixed. But I'll send a message out. Is there any other Greenbrier kids in it, or are you the only one?
Oh yeah, there's quite a few.
Any from the school that you go to? Any of your classmates that are in it?
Stacy in it. I know that.
Stacy, we have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Stacy's in it. Also,
Really?
Alex.
She's one of my
yes,
girls.
yes.
She's our other
you got
ACT
Sydney?
superstar.
My girlfriend Alyssa, she's also in it.
Okay.
And is that all of the Greenbrier kids?
Did you mention Sydney?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Claire, she's a stage hand.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's good to know. Okay. Well, we need to push that out. I'll make sure that I'll send out a staff faculty email.
I'll be
That's our
doing
little-
my fair share of advertising too for this.
Yeah. That's fun because that's wonderful. I love it. So glad to get you out, get you in here. It's good to catch up with what you're doing this
I'm
summer.
so glad to
Tyler.
be here.
Yeah, we love it. Good to see you, Bridget. Danny, always.
Thank you, Lavern. We appreciate it very
Anytime.
much.
Anytime. We will keep talking it up and can't wait to see it. Get your group together. What better way to kind of spend a little bit of summertime than in the theater, in school theater, happening at Coopertown starting next week, and we'll talk more about it. Thank you so much, Robeson County Players. We love you. We love you guys here at 1100 WSGI. God bless. Have a wonderful day.
Some glad morning when this life is over.